Brock and Guinevere, we're going to do what sinks and what floats, okay? Now, can you tell me why you think something would sink or float?
Because if it's so heavy, it'll sink. If it's so light, it'll float.
So the reason I chose the sink or float project was because anybody can do this at home. All you need is 2 bowls, and any toy or object in your house would work. You can use all their toys. Like my oldest one likes Legos, my daughter likes princess stuff, and then the baby like Elmo or something like that. You don't have to buy anything, so that's a plus when you have a lot of kids. So if you're doing a project and your son was like, oh, I don't want to do that, it has princess, but then you brought like knights into it, it's the whole theme, and it'll bring all your kids involved at once. What about this?
Yeah.
What do you think it's gonna sink or float?
Float.
Float? You're right. Because why?
Because it's less.
Because it's less than the water, right? Easiest way to tell my children was that when it's light, it's lighter than the water, so it'll float on the top. But if it's heavier than the water, it'll sink to the bottom.
Yeah.
Guinevere, the duck.
Duck. Float. Float. I did that. Probably did.
You did good.
Float.
Alright, what about the seashell rock?
Sink.
You
Sink.
guys are good at this. Guinevere,
Sink.
go ahead, put them in.
Sink. Oh, let's get smart.
They did really well. Some of them I was surprised, especially with my daughter, that she knew what was going to happen, but I think it's neat because they get excited because it's a surprise each time.
Let's do it again.
Go ahead, do it again. Take them all and put them back in.
Float. Sink. 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 Float. Float. Float.
Legos, which most households have Legos with kids, so, and those, actually this one was kind of cool because it did both, because it had a hole in it. Standing up. Standing up. Now put it that way. See?
Ooh.
Because the water, listen, look, the water's going inside of it and it's making it heavy.
Ah.
But if you leave it like this, the water's not in it, so it's floating.
Mommy.
So that one does both. So it's a pretty easy concept for even my 3-year-old to understand. So it's a pretty fun experiment, and they obviously enjoyed doing it.
Float. Oh, the cellar sinks. The frog floats.
It was kind of cool to do the pop one because it shows you how bad the sugar is and the pop is really for you. We got this one, and we have this diet one. Okay? You think it's gonna sink or float?
Sink. Float.
You think it's gonna float? What do you think, bro?
Sink.
Go ahead, put it in. That one sinks, right? Now what do you think this one's gonna do?
Float.
What do you think, bro?
Sink.
Put it in.
Yay!
Actually, that one's floating. Now, the reason this one is floating
And that one sinks.
and this one sinks is because this one has a lot of sugar in it. Uh-huh. So, to my son, he thought, gee, these are both heavy cans. They're both going to sink at first. But then when we explained that this one has all the heavy sugar, he was like, oh yeah, that would be a reason why it would sink and this one would float.
Because this one has a little bit of sugar, this one has a lot of sugar.
You can do science with pretty much anything. You don't have to spend a lot of money, and it's not hard. So anything can be like a teaching moment. What about a car?
I got one that we can
Not a play car, I meant a real car.
we can't do that. Sink.
Sink, it'll sink to the bottom. When we're out and they see boats, that's a good one. Why is the boat not going to the bottom? Because it's so wide and it weighs less than the big mass of water around it. When they're in the pool, why are they sinking to the bottom and their raft isn't? I love the Science Center. We used to stay over there all the time when I was little, and my dad thought it was really important for me to be exposed to other things and go out and explore all the time. So I just like to see my kids involved in that because they get so excited about it. It's floating.
Carnegie Science Center and PNC believe every child should grow up great with science. Let's get started today.